Hi, it's Scott, ROCKFILE, back with another podcast review. This will be a spoiler-free theatrical review of the new Marvel movie, Thunderbolts. I went to the first showing here in Kenai, Alaska. I do that for all Marvel movies for the last decade and a half because I don't like spoilers. I don't watch any of that stuff before. Matter of fact, I've even stopped watching most trailers. If the trailer looks particularly interesting, I watch it. There's been some good ones lately. This one I felt gave away a lot of stuff away when I watched the first trailer. I didn't watch any of the others. Then I put it on my list to see. I happened to have an opening. Went and saw it. I think it's great. I think it's one of the better Marvel movies to come down the pike in a long time. And if you look over the 36 Marvel movies there are, this would be in the upper half of them. I think the chemistry works. I think they picked all the right actors for what happens. I think it's a good story. I think it's a story that feels like it does have some weight to it, some dramatic weight to it, and it does affect the rest of the Marvel universe. I liked the two end-game scenes or the end credit scenes. I really don't have too many complaints about the film. Where there's more I would like to see, there's a point in the film where people kind of go, well, at least one character goes through their past a little bit that has bearing on what they're doing, but nobody else does. They just kind of appear there after all having done the same thing. We just don't get to see it. I know budget constraints and things like that. Really, looking back at the film, because I saw it Thursday, I'm recording this Saturday morning. I meant to have this up Friday. I'm sorry. I wanted to chew on it a little bit more. And I like it. I mean, I really... There are Marvel movies that are instantly forgettable. I have a hard time remembering what, say, The Marvels was about, or Eternal. I did kind of like Eternals, more as a movie, not as a Marvel movie. But this one, you know, it doesn't reach the heights of, say, Winter Soldier, which is one of the best Marvel films, but I have a lot of friends who put this in their top 3 or 5. And I would say it's definitely the best thing, or one of the best things that's Endgame, but there have been a couple decent ones. This is what Marvel needed right now, though. The biggest thing that happened to me after this film was being excited for what comes next. And it wasn't just the tiny little end credit scene at the end of the movie. It was that the entire thing felt like Marvel was firing back on all its cylinders. Again, this is not a movie that's going to compete with a Deadpool, a Doctor Strange, a Thor, or an Endgame. It couldn't possibly. But the second-tier characters, some of which are not my favorite, were all endearing by the end of it. And that's a kind of a weird thing to say. I think Florence Pugh carries the film. I think her relationship with other characters also helps carry the film. I think Bucky helps carry the film. Everybody has a lot to do in the film except, say, Ghost. Unfortunately, she's just kind of secondary character, but has some really cool effects. There are some great fight scenes. There's some great action scenes. There's some great drama scenes. All in all, if I reviewed this as a movie, I would say, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5. It's a good action movie. As far as part of the MCU, because I've said in many podcasts before, you can't review Marvel movies today as normal movies. They're not. They're part of a bigger universe. Not even James Bond has 36 films in their catalog. 36 movies with 37 on the way later this summer. That's a lot of films. And since it's all under one umbrella and one part of one giant tapestry of a story, this is a good one. I think we're at the point in Marvel movies, you can say it's a good one or not a good one. I think some of the Sony spin-off movies have been terrible. I didn't even see Kraven, even though that's a character I actually like. I didn't watch Madam Web. I'm not really concerned with the lesser tier movies. The TV shows, some I've liked a lot. Moon Knight I thought was fantastic. Some of the others were great. I wasn't a big fan of Ms. Marvel. It just wasn't my cup of tea. It probably wasn't also targeted at me. But this is a more general movie. It looks very cinematic. There was a fight scene at the beginning that was almost jaw-dropping. To not give anything away, it's a fight scene, but it's done overhead almost like a video game, and the light source is at one end of a long hallway, so the shadows stretch out very long, like across the entire screen. It is a cinematic-looking scene that's just like, wow, I don't know that I've ever seen something like that before. That's pretty cool. There were some other things like that. They were actually trying. You have the director who's an award-winning director of TV like Beef. You have a writer who has written award-winning TV like The Bear. I think Marvel was wise to get some people from left field who had an interest in doing a movie like this. They kind of knocked it out of the park. Because honestly, Wyatt Russell's version of the dime store Captain America, as they call him, he's a good actor because he makes me dislike him. I don't like him at all, actually, and I don't really want to see him in other things, but he's becoming a big actor. But most of my opinion is based on he plays such a great asshole in the movies. And even by the end of this one, his character goes through a bit of a character arc. You kind of know why he is the way he is. Again, I think everybody does pretty great. I would like to have seen a little more Ghost, but we do know a little bit more about her from Ant-Man movies. We saw how she was created, the person that was behind it, what's going on with her. So it wasn't so much to have more with her. I did enjoy her effect scenes. And the less we say about Bob, the better. Bob just kind of appears in the movie. Bob doesn't really know why he's in the movie or why he's in these scenes until later. And then he becomes a very important part of the MCU. I don't want to give any spoilers away here, but all in all, if you want to go see a decent Marvel movie, if you're tired of wading through ones that were disappointing, I don't think you'll be disappointed with this one. I think you'll walk out and go, okay, Marvel, they're kind of back, and I'm ready for the next movie. Now, they're going to throw everything in the kitchen sink against the wall from Fantastic Four all the way up to Doomsday, so get ready for it. But this could have easily come, like it's kind of a sequel to the Black Widow movie, a little bit. It also does come after what happened in the latest Captain America movie and more. This ties some things together, answers some question, and moves the universe forward. What more do you want in a Marvel film? I think everybody in the movie was great. I think the effects were really good. I think it was filmed well. It feels like a movie. Some of the Marvel shows and movies kind of feel like streaming shows. This felt like a film. It had a very cinematic feel to it. I felt like it was in a movie with some important, heavy things going on. There is a lot of fun. I mean, there's some funny. This is one of the funnier movies of late, not counting Deadpool, but it's not a comedy. It's a comic book movie that has some layers to it. Not to the extent of something like Sinners, but there are layers here. They're going for deeper concepts and things that mean this and this kind of thing. All in all, what more do you want in a Marvel movie? Again, if you're looking for the best action movie of the summer, well, we're getting a Superman, we're getting a Mission Impossible, and a few others. Wait for those. But if you want to see a decent Marvel movie, go see Thunderbolts on the big screen. It plays well on the big screen, had a lot of fun, a lot of laugh out loud moments, a lot of heartfelt moments as well. I thought it was good, and stay all the way to the end for that last end credit scene because it's very important. Might be back with a spoiler podcast at some point, but really this was just a way to say you need to go see this movie because, well, Marvel needs the win. The box office needs the win. It's a good flick. I very much enjoyed it. It's one of the better movies I've seen so far this year, and I can't wait to see what Marvel does next. I felt like they did this one correctly. I'm Scott. I'm ROCKFILE. More podcasts on the way, more drone videos too. Please like, share, and subscribe, and have a fantastic day.